Here at Bulla Regia, in what is now northwestern Tunisia, the average high in July and August is 37 Celsius, nearly 100 Fahrenheit. The Roman inhabitants of this place kept cool by building subterranean rooms, entire floors under their villas. These basements, which filled with sand and debris after the city was abandoned in late antiquity, are preserved almost perfectly. Let's take a look. Let's start with the House of the Treasure, named for the trove of Byzantine gold coins discovered here by the excavators. As you can see, the ground floor is more or less obliterated. The basement, however, is quite well preserved. Now, unfortunately, they have gated off the main access, but we can poke through a window here and get a decent glimpse at the mosaics of this subterranean story. So give me a moment to maneuver my way over here. All right, so you see here the corridor that joined the primary rooms of the basement, paved with this geometric motif. Ahead, and paved with a somewhat more elaborate mosaic pattern, is the triclinium, a dining room used during the heat of summer. Notice the stylized ivy leaves, or hederae. To the right, and unfortunately invisible from our vantage point, is a room believed to have been a cubiculum, a bedroom. Next, we have the House of the Hunt, which dates to the 3rd century. The ground floor has a fairly typical plan for an aristocratic Roman house, with this peristyle in the center. But the basement is much more interesting. Let's descend into the depths. It's remarkable how deep these subterranean levels are, probably 4 meters or so. And here we are. Now at the center we have this light well, which admitted the light of the sun, but not too much of that torrid summer heat. Around it were arrayed the rooms. Most of them appear to have been cubicula, bedrooms. They have these nice geometric mosaic patterns on the floors. Let's take a look at these few here. You can see how there were other small windows that admitted light and air, but not the direct rays of the sun. Okay, more geometric mosaics. Yet other cubiculum here. And here we have the highlight, the triclinium, the dining room, whose entrance is framed, as you can see, by these imposing Corinthian pilasters. The mosaics, interestingly, are much more elaborate in the center, which is expected for a room of this function. You see, the simpler stuff around the margins was covered by the couches. These rich mosaics would be framed by them and serve as a conversation piece. This rather grand staircase descends into the subterranean levels of the House of the Fish, which takes its name from a really spectacular marine mosaic. Unfortunately, it's closed at the moment, but we can at least peer down through the light well and see a couple details. So the marine mosaic is right ahead of us in the triclinium, here, as usually, the most elaborate space. Right below us, in the light well itself, is the basin of a fountain. Most of Bulla Regia is still unexcavated. There are buried houses on both sides of this street. Let's hope the Tunisian government will find the funding sometime soon to continue the work here. Saving the best for last, we have the House of Venus, which dates to the 2nd century. Let's take the plunge. The subterranean levels of the House of Venus have the usual arrangement, with a light well on one side and rooms arrayed around. What sets the house apart is the quality of its mosaic floors. So here we have the typical geometric decoration we've seen elsewhere, on the floor of the light well as well, in this case. But much more unusual on this site, and the real showstopper here, are the figural mosaics in the triclinium, which is, as usual, the most elaborately decorated space. Now here we have a female figure of uncertain significance, laurel-crowned and framed by a rich border. Beside it is the mosaic that gives the house its name, the Triumph of Venus. The goddess is shown in splendid detail, ringed by a halo, with the marine gods about her. Among the sea creatures here below her are two cupids, one holding her jewel box and the other her mirror. It must have been a nice place to spend time, 18 centuries ago, on those hot summer nights in Bulla Regia.